There you go. That's recording.
Okay. All right. So these are the originals you provided to me.
All right,
I
fair
did
enough.
not staple them back.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I brought
no
a
problem.
stapler or whatever. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through these and make sure that nothing was changed or nothing was removed. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to make sure that I have.
I mean, and I want to be clear about something. I don't think you guys started out with malicious intent. I just think you believed all the lies from the start and then just got caught in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't see places where Mike has done things that are malicious. I really don't. I see things where it seems really misguided and somehow got tunnel vision and somehow overlooked the fact there wasn't evidence for a whole ton of things. You know what I'm saying? I think Chief Bowling saying to my wife on the phone, he had no reason to doubt her integrity. And then later in the street, in front of people, telling me that she filed fake police reports. Because I don't think we have any evidence of Dorothy filing fake police reports, and Chief Bowling needs to not say that to people.
Well, whatever you and Chief and Dorothy have talked about, we have no knowledge of.
No, that's right. And I don't hold it against you guys. I mean, it's really difficult. Your jobs are really difficult. I get that. And people make mistakes. And you guys have the types of jobs that when mistakes are made, it's very hard to correct them because everyone wants the accountability. It's the cancel culture time. It's the, and so the consequences of claiming your own accountability can be high. You can, in your job, you can just say, oh, I messed up, and the consequences are draconian. I don't think it should be that way. I think somehow we should be able to talk about just what happened and low tension and just, if you think I said something wrong, then say you said something wrong. And I'll say, oh, okay, maybe let's go check the evidence again. Let's go look back. If he says the text message says something different, well, then let's go look again. We don't need to argue, and it doesn't need to end today. The resolution doesn't need to come right now.
You provided copies of, it looks like 2 actions that have been filed.
No, these aren't actions. One is a motion to admit, and the other is interrogatories. So the motion to admit is just basically admit you did this, admit you did this, admit you did this. And they deny some things that there's evidence to show that they actually did. But that's irrelevant. They do admit to stealing the things.
Right, but what I'm saying is that, so you've provided copies of those things.
Yeah, the motion to admit and the interrogatories.
Okay, so those are still claims made by Ms. Pierce.
No motion to admit. That's Clements Electrical answering their own questions. When you file a motion to admit, you file it with the court, and then Clements Electrical replies and says, we admit to this or we don't admit to this. And then the interrogatories are in preparation for civil court. You get to ask the other side any question you want, really within reason, and then they have to answer it. So they answer the questions. That's Clements answers those questions. That's not Dorothy's writing.
Now, are the are these responses, are they dated?
Are they
Where's
dated?
the date on the response?
I can get that for you. I don't know exactly. I mean, this all came in within the last. Well, I don't know because I just review the documents. Like when I get handed them, it's to now study for the next pending. So I think she's had those documents for a minute. I don't think they've been dissected until just recently, and then we're preparing for trial, so now we got to get the whole game together.
You made an interesting thing about the word unpaid.
Who wasn't paid for the rent?
You made a reference to the whole idea that the invoice was considered unpaid. Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying that it wasn't delinquent. Like it's weird. It says.
Hang on.
You're right.
You can't change the words. You can't change the words. That seems to be the thing every time. And what happens is when I try to point that out, you want to change horses. I didn't say delinquent. You made a reference to the invoices being unpaid. Had the invoices been paid at that point?
No.
Yes or no?
No. And let me finish.
You see why it's important.
Yes, I do.
It's important to split hairs.
I do agree.
My job is to split hairs.
But we don't have to have a tone when we do it.
In fact, my ability to split hairs. Hang on. Let me finish, good gracious. My ability to split hairs is actually a really good thing in working on the investigation, right? So to say that in my report that it somehow reflects some inaccuracy to use the word unpaid. If the invoice in fact hasn't been paid, that's by definition unpaid. I'm not making any claims about delinquency because you know who that's between? Clements Electrical and Miss Pierce / her company. So in other words, when my report uses the word unpaid, I'm not making any claims about the delinquency of it. I'm not making any claims about the date on the invoice.
All right, so then
Does that make
if
sense?
we're going to split hairs, let's go back and say, do you feel Clements Electrical. Do you, in your legal position,
legal position,
whatever you want, just let me speak. I'm not a lawyer.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm not a lawyer.
Sorry,
Don't have to pick me apart, right?
Go ahead.
Do you feel that Clements Electrical was in their right to take those wires from that building?
Oh, this is my. You're asking me how I feel.
Is there evidence to suggest that they had the right to take those wires from that building?
Yes.
What's the evidence that suggests they had the right to do that?
Sherry, the manager that Dorothy gave authority to. That's it.
Did Sherry have the right to give away Dorothy's things?
She had the authority when Dorothy told her, "You're my manager." I don't
So
understand
if I work for you, I can give away your tools?
You can't change it to something else.
Oh, no, this is very interesting.
You're changing it to something
No,
else.
this is interesting. I'm interested. I'm generally interested. I'm not upset. You're the one with the tone, you know. So you're saying that if Sherry told them they could take Dorothy's things, that made the theft legal?
You love to spin, dude.
Yes, I do. I'm good at it.
I didn't say you were good at it. I said you love to do it, and those are not the same thing.
Yeah, far from good. I mean,
it's not the same thing. The problem is you take something and then you want to universalize it. You want to tweak it. You want to just ever so slightly. As soon as I brought up the word unpaid, you wanted to jump to the word delinquent. I don't want to jump to the word delinquent. I'm telling you that when Dorothy says you are my manager, by definition, the word manager, what does that mean? It means you manage.
Wait.
It means that it's giving authority.
Wait, if I have a manager at my company, if he gave away my trailer of tools, my manager just drives off my trailer of tools and gives them away. Is he in his legal right to do that because he's my manager?
I'm telling you that in this particular... Are you listening or are you
just
laughing?
If
you're going to laugh, I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and get disrespected like that.
I apologize.
It's unbelievable.
No, it's not.
It's unbelievable.
What we've been going through is unbelievable. What we've been going through... Yes, absolutely. I find this comical at how
Let's make sure that we're on record.
Let's
make sure that we're on record. You don't think that I have doctored these copies that you provided?
No.
You don't think that I have... Hang on, let me finish, please, for the love. Good gracious. Do you feel that I've doctored these?
No.
Do you feel I've made any changes?
No.
Do you feel I've left out any pages?
No.
Do you feel that the copies that I have retained accurately and substantially reflect what you have provided to us?
I do believe that, and I'll email them all too, so that they're all emailed, and then we don't have that problem.
I just don't want any accusations coming up later that I've tweaked something, I've changed something, I've manipulated something, I've worked it in some way that might be favorable to one position or the other. You don't feel that way?
No.
About the documents that you've provided to me?
No.
Okay.
I feel you got tricked by Sherry at an early time, and you bought into something and went too far down the rabbit hole. I think you can see that something isn't exactly right, and I think that you're in a hard spot, and I appreciate you for doing it. I think that with time, when these court cases penned out and we all get deposed and we all go through the processes, right, that we're going to end up at a different place of understanding than we are now, and I think it wasn't necessary. I think it was, if Dorothy's police report would have been taken at face value and they would have said that stuff was stolen from her factory, and you would have gone and looked for the people that stole the things instead of trying to put Dorothy in jail, I think that we would have been in a very different place right now. You would have found the thieves who admit to it, right? They admit to stealing the stuff now. And so I think that...
And therein is another issue, is you keep using phrases that they're not accurate.
What isn't accurate?
You keep attaching words to these, and the problem really is that ends up, it actually undermines.
We're not in court, man. We're just talking.
Well, it undermines your argument. That's the whole point, though.
I don't really care.
You don't care that it undermines your argument?
To you, no. I mean, I'm just trying to give you the evidence.
Then why should I care?
Because I don't think you're trying to get the criminals anyways. I think you're trying to find ways out of taking accountability for the debauchery of this investigation. And so I don't think that anything is going to come from it other than me saying I didn't.
There's nothing going to come from it because there's nothing to come from it. It's
Right.
been put in front of the solicitor and it's been shot down.
That's your opinion, and it will be in civil court where they sort these things out. And so,
good.
So like,
Have your attorney to call us and see us.
I didn't want it to go to civil court.
Civil and criminal are different. That's the whole thing. That's the thing I'm trying to explain.
Well, right, but there wouldn't be a civil case if the criminal case was handled properly.
I'm not going to stand here and let you insult my investigators in this police department saying they didn't handle something.
He's a civil servant. I can insult anyone I want, sir.
Well, good. We got to stand here and listen. Come on, Mike.
Yeah. Have a good day, sir.